I'm sorry. I'm not technically savvy today. I'm sorry.
That is all right. Okay, so since we are just recording, I will give a quick overview. All we have done at this point is basically do a quick icebreaker to talk about some things that we have around us in our settings that help us with holistic health and medicine, help us feel better, right? To help us center ourselves. So that was our quick overview or a quick icebreaker. So I am going to go ahead and come off camera and let me share my screen here. This window. All right. Are you all able to see my screen right now? Perfect. All right. So again, we're here today. We're going to talk about holistic health practices and integrative therapies. And I am Dr. Lisa Williams, owner of I Am She Holistic Wellness Center here in the city. So who is this woman? Well, let me tell you a little bit about me. I've worked in healthcare for over 30 years. I've been in hands-on patient care, behavioral practices, coaching, training. I've been on the administrative side of it in C-suites. I've also been providing holistic and metaphysical care for quite some time. I've done a myriad of things like create online and in-person courses for colleges, healthcare, all types of professional and educational organizations. And I've taught hundreds of people, both professionally and personally, for over 20 years. So I'm sure we've surpassed the hundreds, but hey, I'll take that. So for many years, I've helped clients level up, right? I've helped people recenter themselves, pull themselves out of what we consider to be a rut and move forward in life. I am a creative seeker of fabulousness. I love to ride motorcycles. That may sound or seem very weird, but I love, love, love it. I like to explore nature. I love being silly. I love listening to music. I love life. I also love to write and create, which probably helps me in the genre that I'm in right now. So over the years, what has made me what makes me able to do this? What gives me the gumption? What have I gone through that allows me to be able to share some things with you on holistic health? And it's not just education, but it has been my life's journey, right? So I have survived a lot, from molestation to infidelity to all sorts of abuse. But even in all of that turmoil, I continued on with life. There was something inside of me. There was this fire that wouldn't go out. So I continued to live and I continued to grow. In fact, I often tell people that I'm not in the growth business, but I am in the evolution business, because we are going to grow whether we want to or not. But it's important for us to evolve. And in my years of evolution, I've been able to accomplish several things. So from becoming a best-selling author, writing a book with Kim Coles, I'm an ordained metaphysical minister, a certified master herbalist. I am an alternative drugless practitioner, a board certified holistic health practitioner, amongst many other things. But I share all of these things with you because it is a very important introduction into holistic health, and one of the points that we're going to talk about. And one of the things that we need to make sure that we do is evolve, right? We have to be willing to awaken our inner selves. We have to be able to learn and transform, to just simply become, to become us, no one else but us. I went through all of these things, and in this, I learned, as Bob Moore states here, my strength were not coming from lifting weights, which I often did. My strength actually came from lifting myself up when I was knocked down. And it is sad to say that I was knocked down quite often for many years and for a lot of reasons. But I do believe that everything I went through brought me to be the woman that I am today, as well as the practitioner that I am today. And so I am forever grateful for it, because the journey was definitely worth it, turmoil and all. All right. So holistic medicine. Does anybody know, or can anybody share with me what you think holistic medicine is? Anyone? Now, I do like to be interactive, so I will call on people. I know Azizah knows. There you go. Thank you, Nicole. Go ahead.
Hi. When I think of holistic, I think of like the total body, mind, body, spirit, just organs, everything. We're taking into account everything, more than just the symptoms, but we're treating literally everything.
Yes, yes, yes. You hit the nail on the head. So I like to think of holistic medicine as a symphony, right? And so I think we're all familiar with symphonies. You have all these beautiful instruments going on. So holistic health is like a symphony where the mind, body, and spirit all harmonize together to create this beautifully balanced masterpiece of well-being. That's the beautifully masterpiece of you, right? It's the art of nurturing our every note in our life so that we can compose what I consider a melody of vitality, resilience, serenity. It is mind, body, spirit. And when you think holistic, you think about the whole person. That is exactly what holistic health is about, the whole person. So let's look at some principles of holistic health. So it's founded on several key principles, right? And these key principles guide us toward achieving our overall well-being. They're very interconnected in different aspects of our life, but they encourage us to have a comprehensive approach to health. So let's go through a few of these. Wholeness, right? Wholeness is about seeing individuals as whole beings, just as Nicole just stated, right? Mind, body, soul. We are a collection of separate parts, but we are one individual. And so our physical, our mental, our emotional, our spiritual, everything contributes to our overall well-being. Then we have individualization. That's recognizing that every person is unique. We often go to our fellow physicians or nurse practitioners or whomever we're dealing with, and they treat us as a group, right? They're not really looking at us as an individual. They may look at that one code that we have. If you have COVID, they're treating COVID the same exact way. If you have pneumonia, they're treating it the exact same way. But in reality, it is very important that we go a little bit deeper than just that particular issue. And that's a whole nother topic. But again, individualization is about treating the specific needs of that person so that it's meaningful for their health journey. Then we have mind-body connection, and we're definitely going to be talking about this a little bit more, but this is acknowledging this connection between our mind and our body. So holistic health actually emphasizes the impact of our thoughts, our emotional, our mental well-being, the impact on our physical health. All of these things are very important for our mind-body connection. Balance and harmony. This is promoting balance in all aspects of our life. So we oftentimes hear work-life balance, right? But we're looking at balancing our rest, our activity, all the various dimensions of our well-being. What do we need to do for us to be satisfied mentally, emotionally, spiritually? Do we incorporate these things in our day-to-day? All of that it falls right into our balance and harmony. Then we have prevention and wellness. So holistic health not only focuses on treating illnesses, but also on preventing them. So we promote proactive wellness practices so we can maintain, right? Maintain our 3 essential pieces: mind, body, spirit. Excuse me. So prevention and wellness is very, very important. And then there's natural healing. So our values, our health values, the body's innate ability to heal itself. Natural healing encourages natural and holistic approaches to support the body. So when we talk about natural healing, we're talking about some things that we'll cover a little bit later, but the things that we put inside of our body, so the herbs that we're using, things we're drinking, things we're doing for our mental, all of those pieces are a part of our natural healing. Does anyone have any questions so far? And feel free to speak up if you do. We will have time for Q&A at the end, but I'd like to be interactive. So if you do have questions, don't be shy. All right, so we talked about that mind, body, spirit connection, right? This is important. I'm going to tell you a perfect reason, actually the #1 reason why it's important, but I would like for someone to tell me why. Give me a reason why you think the mind-body connection is important.
This is Manya. I think it's important because if your mind is troubled, that can impact you in so many ways, mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Absolutely. You all are rocking it this morning. This is perfect. It is important because our psychology creates our physiology. Okay. I'm going to say that again. Our psychology creates our physiology. What we eat, what we drink, what we sleep, what we think, what we have around us, all of these things pull in energy, right? They pull in vibrations. And when our mind goes awry, our bodies begin to go awry. And I'm going to share with you 3 reasons, right? Just 3 reasons why the mind-body connection is so important. And let's talk about the first one. Our psychology creates our physiology. So as I said, in a nutshell, what you think and speak, you become. So we are a mirror of our inner thoughts, right? When we think something, if we feel like we're sick, oh, I'm getting sick, and it could just be a tickle. What happens? We get sick. All the way to you wake up in the morning and you stub your toe, and yes, we know it hurts like heck, and you're fussing and probably cussing and dang it, my toe, and now I'm pissed, and you go on with this energy, and what happens? That energy tends to carry with you throughout the day. Then the more you start feeling bad, the more things start aching, the more things don't go well, your stomach is hurting, you feel more stressed than you probably normally would have if we had just changed the trajectory of our day. So you see, when we feel good, or if we're experiencing pleasure, we release those feel-good hormones, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin. They make us feel great, right? These are our good experiences. But just in the same manner, when we're stressed, when we're having negative feelings, when we're super emotional on the negative side, we too release other hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which can cause negative effects on the body. So stress disrupts us, right? And again, when it starts with our mind, it just trickles down, and everything that's manifesting in our mind that we're focusing on, that we're harnessing, that we're creating ourselves with that little gremlin that we're allowing to take over in our heads, it has to express itself some sort of way, and that begins to come out in our bodies. let's go to the second reason. Nutrition and diet. Nutrition and diet is so important to us. And nutrition, not just the vitamins that we intake, but these things are important because they also affect our brain function as well, right? So there is an increasing awareness and recognition of the importance of supplements and how to help promote optimal health. One easy thing that we can do, and what this means, is we can make food our medicine. Food should be our medicine, right? I know people talk about, oh, don't eat meat, be vegan, and everybody can be what they want to be and eat the way they want to eat. However, as long as you take accountability and responsibility for it and you are aware of what it does to your body, it gives you better insight to allow you to be able to modify or change some things so that you can be aware of your nutrition and diet, and you can help promote your own optimal health. So it's very easy to let your kitchen be your playground. And this is just a short list of things that you probably already have in your cabinet, but are great for so many things. I love ginger, especially this time of year. I have ginger tea sitting in my cup now. It's great for detoxing, digestion, circulation. If you have a cold right now, this time of the year, ginger is great for that. So is turmeric, right? So is garlic. Cinnamon can help lower your blood sugar. It also fights bacteria and funguses. And then there's matcha green tea, which can burn fat. It's a great antioxidant, which helps our heart. So all of these things are things that we typically have in our cabinets, maybe not all, but some. But these are things that you can begin to incorporate in your daily diet so that you can gain some of these benefits. And here's a few more things. Food for brain fuel, right? We want to make sure that we keep our mental capacity sharp, that we keep pushing and we keep growing, we keep evolving. So just a small list of foods that we can do to help our brain function. Omega-3 fats, leafy greens, blueberries, nuts, avocados, right? All of these things help our brain. A healthy brain helps us keep a great memory the older we get. It also helps us with the synapses firing from one part of our body to the other, our brain telling our hand, pick up that ball, squeeze it. We take a lot of things for granted, our bones, our muscles, right? But all of these things are so very important. And if we just look at the foods that we have in our cabinets and our refrigerators, we can begin to incorporate some of these things so that we are shooting for our optimal health. And let's go to the third reason. That is exercise and movement. As I just mentioned, we take for granted our fingers and toes, our bones, our muscles, just natural movement, things that we do on a daily basis. But we must continue to do things to help us stay strong as we move on. So mobility is a key factor to our longevity. When we move better, we certainly feel better. So it's important because it still helps us improve mental health, which is so very important. Exercising and movement improves our heart health, reduces risks of falls and injuries because our muscles are strengthened, right? We can maintain the muscle mass. You know, if you've ever noticed, the older we get, the more definition we lose in our muscles and things become flabby. Well, continuous movement and exercise, these are all things that help us maintain all of this. It helps us maintain part of our homeostasis. So let's talk about some benefits of holistic health. Improved overall well-being, right? We have a sense of balance. It promotes our daily vitality. We're happy. Right? That's what our overall well-being is about, our happiness. It helps to enhance our quality of life in all facets, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. And then we have to take an active role in our own health and wellness. It is our empowerment of self-care. So these are all benefits of holistic health, all things that we need to do in order to continue to keep ourselves balanced, to keep ourselves centered, to keep ourselves healthy, and to keep ourselves on a track for longevity. So let's talk quickly about a few ways that we can actually promote mind-body connection, as well as balance and harmony. Meditation. Meditation is so amazing. Sometimes you may meditate and not realizing that you're doing it. If someone makes you upset and you're refusing to, as I often say, quote unquote, participate in that issue, right, into their challenges, then you just kind of sit quiet. What do? You close your eyes. Sometimes you take that deep breath and you blow it out real slow and you try to recenter and focus yourself. Well, that too is a form of meditation. Just as well as you sitting in a quiet space or laying in a quiet space and truly focusing on your meditation practices. Other things we can do: practice gratitude, repeat affirmations, pray. All of these things promote mind-body connection, because when you're grateful, when you have your own affirmations, when you're praying, you are giving homage to our great creator. You are taking the calmness that is deep inside of you and bringing it to a rising point that can allow you to connect mind, body, and spirit, to be calm within yourself. Communication. Communication is truly vital. This may seem odd to some. Can someone tell me why you think communication is vital to promoting your mind-body connection? Just one person.
I'll go. I think communication is important when promoting that mind and body, because you can communicate with yourself. And when you can communicate with yourself in a healthy way, even if it's like you said, if you're upset, you know what to say to yourself to keep you at your center point. But once you begin that negative talk, it's just completely downhill from there. And it's repeating those positive affirmations to yourself, or however you do it, to keep yourself centered, which also promotes, in my opinion, a healthy mental standpoint, knowing you can keep it all together. If I answered your question right.
Yes, you did. And thank you so much for sharing, Janice. It is important, because when we keep things in and we do not let them out, whether it's having a conversation with ourselves or a conversation with others, what does it begin to do to your mind? You begin to create your own scenarios, right? And sometimes the way the picture or the way the story is actually written, when you're not communicating, that story changes. And then that picture in your mind, it begins to be something different. So communication is key. You have to be able to talk with yourself, to sit with yourself, but you also need to be able to do that with others as well, because if you have an issue or a problem or a challenge, as I like to call them, with someone, you need to be able to communicate that, not in a negative way, but in a very adult way, right? To be able to say, hey, this occurred. This is how it made me feel. This is what I don't like. And none of that has to happen in a negative tone, in a loud tone, but it is important to ensure that that communication comes out. Because when we keep it in our mind, then it starts to fester out somehow throughout our bodies. Be social, engage in hobbies, continue to do the things that you like. These things feed your soul. So it helps promote the mind-body connection, because you are content. And to be content is to be happy. And that means that you're navigating the waters, you're communicating, you're more likely to practice gratitude, you're more likely to sit in your own meditation practices because it's your hobbies, not others, but yours. And it's about creating the things that you need for yourself. Some other ways to promote it, which is actually part of the integrative therapies that we're going to talk about, is practicing yoga, tai chi, incorporating breathing exercises. All of these things are important to practice and promote calmness and self-control. So we've talked about holistic health, and now I want to move on to integrative therapies. But before I do, does anyone have any questions? All right. Integrative therapies. So integrative therapies, they complement or can be alternatives to Western medicine. You can use integrative therapies to work alongside conventional medical treatments, just as you can holistic health practices as well. All of this can lead to a better health outcome and overall improved health management, right? So no one is forcing you to choose holistic health or integrative therapies or strict Western medicine. It is definitely your choice, and you can incorporate all of these things. And I think if you decide to begin to do that and then develop your own path as to how you want to approach your own health care, then you'll find that there are some things that may be better suited for you, for the things that you want for your own health and your own journey. Integrative therapies as well as holistic health also helps us maintain our long-term health. We've talked about longevity, right? So we're encouraging you to be proactive instead of reactive. We focus on preventative measures, right? Promoting longevity, as I said, through our lifestyle choices, stress management, all of these things. And holistic health and integrative therapies, they are closely intertwined. They very much work in harmony to address diverse needs of individuals, right? Remember, we talked about individualization, all of these things. It helps us create a comprehensive approach to our well-being. All right, so some things with holistic health and integrative therapies, kind of in contrast to what we spoke about a little bit earlier with individualized care. There's personalized care. It focuses on mind-body connection, the patient-centered approach, which is focusing on what the patient needs versus telling the patient what they need. There's prevention and wellness, and again, comprehensive healing, which is all in the realm of the natural healing for ourselves. So, you know, holistic health, it recognizes that each person is unique and works to heal the whole person, but integrative therapies does offer a variety of healing modalities that allow you to tailor your own treatment plan, if you will, right? So let's look at some of these practices. Holistic transformation coaching. It's a form of release. It's where you work through your challenges. You get assistance creating a customized plan of action for yourself. It's about helping to heal the whole body. There's acupressure, a great alternative to simple things. So it's based on chi, right? CHI, or energy, the life energy that flows through our meridians. It is a specific type of massage that it primarily focuses on using the thumbs, the fingers, the palms, is pressure, putting pressure on certain points of the body to do certain things. So acupuncture and reflexology go hand in hand together a lot. And I have a chart that I'll share with you just so you can see there are certain parts of our body, pieces of our toes, the bottom of our foot that are reflective of certain areas of our body. And when you rub these areas, when you focus on detoxing these areas, you are working on different pieces of yourself. So you can see right here in the middle, our liver and kidney. These are two very important organs. Obviously, so is our heart and our lungs, but our liver and our kidneys are our filtration system, right? So we want to make sure that we can continue to remove the toxins out of our body. And here's a great way. So when you're thinking about those great foot rubs, right, and you look on your right eye, if you want to start detoxing, have your maid or your therapist focus in this area so that you can get some relief there. So it's just things like this that you can look up online, you can grab, and it will show you some things that you can incorporate or ask for as you're seeing your healthcare practitioners on your own so that you can get some and gain some relief in these areas. Then there's acupuncture, right? So acupuncture is using these little needles, as you can see, in certain forms of the body, so that they can relieve pressure, relieve sinus issues, help with blood pressure, all of these things. Acupuncture is amazing. I do not know anyone who said that it's hurt them. It did not hurt me, but I guess if you got someone who didn't know what they were doing, I guess it could. But acupuncture is really great, and it's not as scary as people think. There's also things like chakra balancing. We have these 7 main energy centers in our body, right? These are our chakras, and you can see them listed over here on the left. Chakra balancing helps us restore our flow of energy across our bodies. So, Nicole, yes, you raised your hand.
Yes, quick question. Do you have recommendations where we can go get acupuncture and have some of these services done to us?
So I do a lot. Some of these things, most of them actually you can have done at my center. I am working with a couple of people to hopefully team up with them. One's an acupuncturist. We'll see how that works. And they're actually moving to the city. They're from Arizona. So hopefully that works out. But I also have Dr. Sebek, who's a naturopathic physician. He's going to be doing one of our seminars here in the near future. He's in my center as well. And I know that he too has some contacts to some other acupuncturists that may be around the city. So I can certainly, if I don't know offhand, I can certainly tie you into the right individual and find that information for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. So our chakras, the crystals that you carry with you, crystals relate to a specific chakra as well. So you can look at all of these sorts of things, or maybe request that we have an impromptu seminar and bring some of these other things into focus where we can bring people in and you all learn more about them. But chakra balancing is amazing, and it is really what we need for our bodies. It helps us recenter ourselves. So then there's Reiki. Reiki is amazing. It is a form of energy healing. Remember I talked about chi, that life force energy that flows through us. That's what Reiki deals with. Okay. And so I do have a master Reiki artist in my center as well. And when I do healing touch massage, I utilize Reiki to move energy, to help open chakras. And I will share some things with individuals if they are open. But Reiki is a fantastic way to channel your energy and to really see what blockages you have or where things need to be harnessed or focused in that moment. It is not witchcraft. I've heard people say that. And so I just wanted to point that out. Like, it is true energy. We all have the ability to perform Reiki, but you must be centered. You have to have a certain connection with yourself. And then it just takes practice. So, these are things that you can begin to learn to utilize and harness your chakra energy to even perform some healing on yourself. So just a little bit to keep in mind. And of course, I mentioned a little bit ago about crystals, right? Crystal healing. So it's an alternative practice that uses the healing powers of the earth's natural semi-precious stones and crystals. It brings us, our mind, body, and spirit, right back into balance. And just a few things, you know, these are a few of my favorites. I love all crystals, but a few of my favorites, you know, rose quartz, you typically see people utilizing for self-love. Amethyst to relieve stress, help with your ability to perceive and comprehend. It's also a very protective stone. Citrine harnesses the sun's energy. It brings that light to your life, helps attract prosperity. You know, when you're trying to enhance your mind, your willpower, pyrite is a great one. Tiger's eye is an awesome one as well to help you improve your intuition, calm your mind, help center your spirit. And then orange calcite, when you are trying to be creative, you have these blocks, there are things that you want to do, right? Or you're dealing with certain sexual energies around you. Orange calcite is an awesome stone. And just as we have crystals to help us heal and center or balance our mind, body, and spirit, we also have aromatherapy, which you all have heard today when we did our icebreaker. Someone spoke about the aromatherapy, right? So lavender was mentioned. It is very calming and soothing, helps us sleep. It helps lower stress. Peppermint is a mood booster, but it's also really great for this time of year, colds and coughs, muscle aches, joints, and pains. You will find some sort of mint or mint alternative in those sorts of joint combinations or compounds. Lemon. You remember your grandmother or mom years ago would always add some lemon in the water or throw some lemon in a pot and it's boiling and you smell that citrus in the air. It's a mood booster. It's used to clean the air, helps the air smell cleaner, but it is an amazing mood booster. And it does some great things for us internally as well. It's a great antiseptic. Oil of oregano, great antibiotic. Now, this is something that has to be diluted with carrier oil because it is very, very strong. It can feel like it can burn you. People will tell you, oh, just put it right on there because it can take off a mole, right? But you want to be careful because it can feel like a burn on your skin. And then eucalyptus, as someone mentioned earlier, great for cold, stuffy nose. And you want to mix that too with carrier oil if you're rubbing it on yourself so that you can reduce pain and inflammation. So, you know, if you wanted to create your own joint combination, if you have some eucalyptus and peppermint, and I would put the lavender in there, you can put that in your carrier oil, your olive oil, and mix that up and then rub that on your aches and pains, right? And that'll help a little bit. There's also herbal therapies, right? So herbal therapies, from your teas to things that you eat, purchasing ginger root or lavender, chamomile, even rosebuds, all of these things can help you. And so I do specialize in herbal therapies, working with individuals to figure out if you have high blood pressure and you're trying to get off the medication, then what are some alternative things that we can do? And now I have Dr. Sebek there, as I mentioned earlier, who is tag teaming, and we're able to create an additional type of medication for you as well, as opposed to just the teas or tinctures. So herbal therapies are absolutely amazing. Now, I've shared a lot with you today, and I know even with all of that, you still might be wondering, does this really work? Well, I do want to share one quick real world example with you. I'm going to use two. So there's myself, right? And I gave my overview of me in the beginning and the things that I went through. And I can tell you that everything that I practice today, these are things that I began to practice as a young girl. You cannot imagine, hopefully you cannot imagine what it is like to go through molestation and rape for many years, and then to turn around and become a teenage mom and have these hard choices for school and all of these things. When you do not have support around you, when you cannot look deep inside of yourself to gain some confidence, to center yourself, to give yourself a little bit of grace, it is hard to navigate the waters. And so all of these things, all of these practices, not all of the alternative or integrative therapies, but most of them I utilized coming up so that I could help heal myself. And I knew that I had to heal from the inside out. I knew that as a very, very young girl, teenage mother of 4, always told not going to be anything. And I never heard that from my immediate circle, but still some close to me. You know, you're 15, you have a baby, people say, you're not going to make it. You can't do anything. But I was determined to prove them wrong. And it was built in me innately. And I'm thankful to say I believe it's innately built in my children. But that strength that I'm talking about, all these abilities to go back and do things, came from one, I won't say one person, but it started with this individual. And that's who I'm going to share next. So when it comes to things like old school remedies, as they called it back in the day, or medicine work, if you go back ages ago, a lot of what I began to learn and see came from my grandmother. And I mean a wide variety of teachings, from things like using an onion to pull out the fever, or making diaper rash paste, or cooking for purposes of healing. I have watched this woman for years naturally incorporate many of these things. And if you have any doubt about anything, this is Mary Jane. This is my grandmother, who has practiced all of these things with me throughout these years, throughout my 50 years, because she was doing a lot of this prior to my life. She just celebrated her 90th birthday a few months ago. She is strong. She is happy. She is doing well. And I know that if she can do it, we can all do it, even if it's just incorporating small things here and there. And my grandmother had 12 children. So for those of you who have children and grandchildren, you can imagine all of the stress that she's had along with everything else in her life. And she created this product along with my mother, and that product would be me. So I know that these things work. I know that holistic health, holistic medicine is fantastic, and so are integrative therapies. So what's next? Well, now you get to choose what's best for you, and don't be afraid to try something new. It's time for change. It's time for your evolution. It's time for your self-love. All you need is a little bit of motivation, right? Motivation is what gets you started, but habit is what keeps you going. And it is creating those healthy habits that we need to begin from this day forward, so that we can center ourselves, so we can care for ourselves, so we can now be on a path of longevity. And let's recap. So the secret to longevity, I gave you those 3 reasons, right? 3 reasons to incorporate our holistic health practices and integrative therapies: mind-body connection, nutrition and diet, exercise and movement. Those are all fun things. And just as a reminder, if you're wondering, okay, well, let me quickly think about some things that I can do to start incorporating all of this. Here are a quick list of fun and creative movement things that we can do. Yoga. If you can't get on the floor, you can do chair yoga, Tai Chi, dance, music therapy. You can swim, you can go bowling, find your favorite sport, do group exercise games like the goose, right? Using a chair, Simon Says, all of these things, they exercise our brain, work on coordination and memory, but they fuel our soul, right? It gives us a sense of being, a sense of well-being. All of these things make us want to move forward, be better, do better, because when we know better, we can do better. And so now today I'll share a few quick things with you, a quick overview of some things that you can research, you can jump into, so that you can begin to navigate your own health. Now, questions and answers. I will come back on screen. Let me start presenting. All right. So, does anyone have any other questions or comments? And I hope what I've shared with you today has been helpful for you.
I can just want to chime in. This has been so helpful, and I'm so glad y'all pivoted to the Google Meet, because I was not going to be able to make it, but I needed to hear this information. Unfortunately, my mom was recently re-diagnosed after being like a 20-year breast cancer survivor with just stage 4 out of nowhere. So we need to get her in your facility like yesterday. I've been researching herbs, so I've been pumping her with all that while we're waiting on like a treatment plan. So yeah, we're going to be linking up with you really soon.
Wonderful. I look forward to it, and I will do all that I can to help you.
Thank you.
Lisa and Trazana, I too want to just thank you. And I think, you know, there's no coincidences in life, and I would not have been able to be a part of the program today, being that I'm in South Carolina. So I'm just so thankful. I needed just a recap and you know, just a reminder of these things. I've been in this holistic realm for several years, but it's nice to have community. And I too am a stroke survivor. So thank you so much for this today.
Absolutely. Thank you all for joining, for wanting to be here. We can't do this without you. We all need each other. And I think that's where we go wrong in the community, right? Like this is it's an effort. We are a family, as I say, right? We are all here to help support one another. And I do definitely live by and always have the each one, reach one, teach one motto. And if I can share one thing about my story, about my life, about anything that I've learned, and it helps someone, then I've done my job. I have done what God created me to do. So I thank all of you for being here and for even listening today.
I have a question.
Yes.
So I am due to have a baby next month, and I want to go the natural route.
Okay.
So besides yoga, which I try my best to practice, is there any other like natural ways, holistic ways that I could promote a healthy, safe delivery for me and baby with no meds?
You can. So breathing exercises are going to be very, very important for you. You said you're doing yoga. That is awesome. You need to do that. I will tell you, if you're due next month, begin to focus on more of the yoga stretching. If you're able to come into my office, I could show you a few things. It's hard to explain to you how to lay and how to stretch to prepare your hips to open to get ready for baby. But if you're able to come into the office, I can show you that. If not, if you're here in the city, if you give me a call, we can make arrangements that I will be willing to come to you, because you're due next month. You don't need to come out to this bad weather, but I could come to you and actually show you a couple of things. I would be willing to do that for you. As you get closer to your due date, if you want to have an easier delivery, we can do things at 38 weeks, like steaming. You can yoni steam to help prepare your cervix for labor. So that's also something that we can do as well.
Okay. So it'd be like
different, knowing like what positions to put myself in as well as during
Yes.
labor and things like that?
Yes.
Okay.
And
Yes,
those will
we
be
can.
some of those are very important for women to know when they are in labor,
Yeah.
because oftentimes we hear things like, oh, you have to have a C-section, the baby's not coming down, but they don't do different body movements or motions to allow your hips to actually open and to allow the baby to actually come down. So there are a few techniques that I can actually share with you that I think would be helpful. They've worked for me in the past, knock on wood. So I think they'll be fine for you as well.
Okay, yes, I would appreciate that guidance. Thank you.
You are very welcome. Anyone else before I turn it over to Miss Trazana? All right. Well, thank you all again. I definitely appreciate you, and I hope you all come to more of our webinars, in person or online. Maybe we can do something and get them online and in person.
I was thinking the same thing. Thank you, Dr. Lisa. In case y'all didn't know, Dr. Lisa is not only my friend, but she's my personal psychologist as well. So thank you.
You are very welcome.
So we're going to take a couple-minute break before Azizah takes us home, and to let everybody go to the restroom, to breathe, to stretch. If you have any questions, either raise your hand and tell us, or type it in the chat. And of course, when we meet next month, we'll have a notebook with everything that Dr. Lisa stated, and we have the references too of how to make appointments in her office and all the facilitators. So thank you, Dr. Lisa. This is excellent. And of course, if I hadn't told you, this is the 3rd year we have done this. This year we're in Madisonville. So our goal is to heal our communities one neighborhood at a time. So let's take a brief break and then we'll come back. Thank you.
Trazana, we can't hear you.
That's because I didn't take mute off.
That's all right.
Okay. If y'all can see the screen, our upcoming workshops after today will be February 10th. Hopefully the weather and the sickness will be down. We'll be at Madisonville Recreation Center. If not, we'll be back online. Mindfulness and meditation. That's on Saturday, February 10th. Same time, same channel. And if anything changes, we'll email everybody to let you know and put all the changes on social media if possible. So, yes,
how many
Nicole.
weeks is this? How many weeks is this program, this workshop?
It's a 8-month program. We do one workshop a month.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Azizah, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. I'm going to turn this over to Azizah Nubia. She has been, she can introduce yourself, but she can introduce herself. I'm sorry. Another one of my friends, and she's also my daughter. So let me change Azizah.
All right. Let me share my screen with you guys and turn my camera on.
Good morning, Azizah. Again, she can introduce herself. So go ahead.
Yeah, I think you have to take your screen off presenting.
I did. Okay. Hold on. There we go.
Okay. All right. Well, hey everybody. I'm excited. This has been a great workshop series. A great way to jump off the new year, reminding us of things that help us to be in alignment. Today, I will be going over healthy eating and fasting. But before we get started, I'm going to share my screen to share a little bit of information about myself. A lot of people who know me in my career field, which has to do with marketing, media, television, all that good stuff. But my background and how I got started as an entrepreneur started with this type of work, spiritual work, holistic health work. Well, it was about 15 years ago, Mom, we first started doing these type of workshops in Nashville. I think she's on mute, but I know
I'm sorry. We started in 2010.
Yep, 2010. And we started off doing natural woman workshops, natural man workshops, gardening workshops. A lot of the things that we have talked about today are things that I came up through and stick with, even in my career, which is on a total different board of what we're talking about today, but it's highly stressful. I'm a mother of 7. I do a lot. I have a lot of responsibilities. A lot of people who are in my shoes, they always say, how are you able to even do the things that you're doing? How do you have the energy to do the things you're doing? What's your secret? My secret is I have to take care of myself. I have to be in tune with myself. I have to follow these holistic practices because it gives me that energy. It gives me that fuel to keep on going. Eating healthy keeps my body healthy, keeps my mind clear. It gives me energy, being able to know when I need to meditate, when I need to sit back and take a break. Those things are so detrimental. And I attribute them to why I have been so successful. So just a little bit about me. I'm the owner of Natural Woman LLC, which is a digital platform and parent company to the Natural Woman brand. Natural Woman LLC also puts out Natural Woman magazine, and that's all about empowering women to love themselves from the inside out. That was, I guess, my first journey onto this. Hence, when we talked about the Natural Woman workshops that we used to do. From there, I developed AZ Media, which is a digital marketing and advertising company. I work with several companies around the country with their marketing and digital advertising needs. And then I also am the owner of the Black Travel Guide, which is a I guess a technology app travel company where I help Black people navigate from city to city, knowing where are the best places to be for Black people, not just for Black people to go and enjoy themselves, but for us to be able to support each other and to be in places that are safe for us. I am a mother of 7, as I mentioned. I have 6 boys, 1 girl. My oldest is 20, my youngest is 4. That is a big gap. And then everybody else is in between. Out of my 7 children, I have birthed 5 of them naturally, including my twin boys. I birthed them natural in a hospital. That was probably one of the biggest fights I've had in my life. My mom can testify to that. But that really changed me to let me know the power of our mind, the power that we have, and to believe in ourselves, and that we as women can do anything, men as well. I'm also a visionary. I'm innovative. I'm a digital creator, and I won't even go into the spiel, but that's just a little bit about me and my background. So I'm excited to be able to share and talk with you guys today about healthy eating and fasting. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second and pull up another screen because I have a fun little fast icebreaker that we can do before we get into this information. And we're going to talk about, is it healthy or not? A lot of times when we are shopping and looking for foods and eating right, there are so many different things that they say we should eat or should not eat. A lot of us don't know if we should do the keto diet, if we should be vegan, vegetarian. Like, it's just so many things out there. And so I wanted to do this fun exercise to see what you guys think about what's healthy or what's not healthy. So the first thing is this yogurt. A lot of people love yogurt, and they always go to yogurt as being a healthy thing for us to eat, especially if you look at this, the packaging. It says naturally sweetened, free from artificial colors and flavors. At the top in the little blue circle, it says only 8 grams of sugar per 100 grams. And you'd be like, okay, this is something healthy that I can eat. I know it's healthy, but this is not a healthy item for us to eat. Sweetened yogurt has, when you look on the back of the packaging, and that's why it's so important when you're shopping and looking for foods, look on the ingredients, look on the back. Do not fall for what's on the front of the packaging, because that is created, and this is coming from my marketing background, to get you to buy it. Look at the ingredients. So the average cup of flavored yogurt has 30 grams of sugar. That's 7.5 teaspoons. That's as much as a chocolate bar. Some sugar occurs naturally in the yogurt, but most of it is added. A good substitute is, instead of getting yogurt with sugar, cut the sugar by making your own blend. Start with a Greek yogurt, which is plain, and then add fresh fruit. All right, so the next one, a bran muffin. Now, by a show of hands, how many of you guys think that a bran muffin is healthy? A lot of us go to Starbucks and say, okay, I'm gonna go get me a little bran muffin. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. All right, so when you look at a bran muffin, they sound healthy because of the word bran, but the reality check is the average donut shop bran muffin has almost 400 calories and a whopping 36 grams, that's 9 teaspoons of sugar, but only 4 grams of fiber. Instead, make your own small muffin, freeze them for a grab and go morning. Like sometimes you gotta the sound of foods sound healthy, but a lot of times they're really not. The next one, sushi. Now, I was a big person a while ago thinking, okay, I'm gonna go get a healthy lunch. I'm gonna go to the Kroger deli and get some sushi. And thinking, okay, it has vegetables in it. It's a little bit of rice. This is healthy. But sushi is not the healthiest thing for us to grab towards, because at the end of the day, sushi is mainly white rice and you're dipping it into soy sauce. So you're getting a lot of refined carbohydrates and sodium. So instead, opt for more, they say fish. If you're a vegetarian or vegan, you can just go with more of the vegetable parts. Go with less white rice, choose brown rice if they have that option. Again, with the vegetables, and use soy sauce sparingly. I love liquid amino, so you can always swap it out. It has the same flavor, and a bit more healthier. And then we just have a few more we're going to go through. Now, my kids think like they fall for this all the time, and that is fruit snacks. And look at this packaging, made with real fruit, so juicy and good. Black Forest organic flavored fruit snacks. And they got everything on this box to make you think this is the healthiest thing. My kids are bringing it to me and say, Mom, this is healthy. It says it on the box. But then when you look on the back of it, it has all this sugar and all these flavorings. And all I'm trying to figure out is, where is the fruit that they said is in this? So you got to really be careful when it comes to this. Oh, wrong side. Sorry. So gummy fruit snacks. Anytime fruit concentrated appears on an ingredient list, it translates to sugar. Isolating the sugar from fruit to make it processed fruit flavored gummies is not the same as eating nutrient rich, fiber filled fresh fruit. So even though fruit snacks seem easy, nice, and convenient, it's always best to just go with some fruit, fresh fruit, grapes, berries, things of that nature. So I think we just have 2 more. This is a big one, veggie straws. We like to get these for our kids because we think they're healthier, because it has the garden, it has the veggie, it has sea salt in there, it has, you see, the 30% less fat. But when you look at it, this is a bag of fried or baked snacks. Like these is crunchy sticks made from corn flour or potato starch, with a dusting of spinach, beet powder for color. Yes, those don't count as vegetables. It's best to just stick with the real veggie sticks, some celery, some carrots, some peppers, because they don't have a lot of nutritional value for us. Another thing, vitamin water. A lot of us will go to vitamin water because I hate when people say they don't like the taste of water, because water just tastes plain. So you'll go to a vitamin water. And again, when you look at the packaging, it tells you all these things that make the water great. You know, it has vitamins enhanced in it, vitamin B, vitamin C, lemonade, lemon, 0 sugar. And you're like, okay, this is a great drink for me to have. But water is essential to life, and so are vitamins. But when the 2 are combined in a bottle with food coloring, sugar, and unnecessary products is created, instead just drink plain water. You could jazz it up, add some fruit slices, some orange slices, lemon slices, add some mint. You get all your vegetables from your food. And I'm a big follower of Dr. Africa. May he rest in peace. He always says that our bodies stimulate. Our bodies are we already have the vitamins in us. The foods that we eat stimulate it within inside of us for it to be activated. So sometimes according to him, if you eat an orange, you're thinking you're eating the orange and the orange is giving you vitamin C, but the orange is telling your body to produce the vitamin C, because our body is the pharmacy. Our body has all the medicine. And so the food communicates to the body on what needs to be produced. So that's just something that I learned years ago, and it's really stuck with me because it's really important to understand that. So be mindful of the vitamin waters and all the mineral waters and all these different types of waters that they have to try to get you to buy them to make water taste good. A lot of times they're just adding sugar and food coloring. So always look at the back of the ingredients. And the last thing we're going to go is granola bars. Everybody gets granola bars for their kids. They think these are nice and healthy. It has a few chocolate chips, so it could be a little sweet. But again, these are packed with sugar. They are packed with tons of sugar. It's a sweet junk food in disguise. It has a few oats in it, but then sometimes they have marshmallows and chocolate chips and all these type of things. And so sometimes it's good to find another source of fiber instead of granola bars. And so that was just a little icebreaker on some of the things that you may think that are healthy and things that are really not healthy. So let's just really get into our slide for healthy foods and fasting. And I'm gonna make this as quick as possible because I know we have been here for a while. So holistic eating and fasting and eating to live. A lot of times in America, our American diet, we eat because things taste good. A lot of times we don't eat for nutritional value or eat to keep our body alive, to keep our minds clear. Everything that goes inside of our body, regardless of how good it tastes, if it's a chemical, it's going to it filters your mind, if that makes sense. So knowing what holistic eating is and how to fast properly when it's needed is so important. So overview of holistic eating. Holistic eating is a practice that goes beyond simply monitoring food intake. Instead, it focuses on how food we consume can affect our overall health, body, mind, and spirit. It acknowledges the nutritional value of food, but also its potential to heal, enhance, and maintain our well-being. The way of eating involves mindful awareness of the type, quality, and source of food, emphasizing natural, organic, and unprocessed foods rich in vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. So some of the foods that I showed you guys on the previous slides, a lot of those things were processed. They were not even natural. Natural, unprocessed foods are foods that haven't been made into something else. So instead of having a pack of fruit snacks, you can have just some berries and some blueberries and fruit. So that's the difference between the unprocessed and processed. The foods that you eat, they do affect you, not just your weight, but they can affect your mind. I know if I get too filled up on processed foods or eat a lot of unhealthy things, it mixes with my mental. Sometimes I can't think clear. I can't sleep at night. I could be more angrier than usual. A lot of times it's because of the foods that I chose to put into my body. So really, you have to be really mindful of how food affects you on a mental and spiritual level, not just physical. So the importance of a balanced diet. The essence of a balanced diet is eating a variety of foods in the right proportions to maintain an ideal body weight and optimum health. A well-rounded diet promotes our physical well-being by reducing the risk of diseases like obesity, diabetes, heart diseases, and cancer. The importance of a balanced diet also helps our mental. So mentally, the right balance of vitamins, minerals, nutrients can greatly impact our brain health, our mood, improving cognition, and memory, focus, and overall mental clarity. It also influences our emotions and plays a critical role in the mental health disorders such as depression and anxiety. So I don't know if you guys have ever noticed it. When you feel sad, what are some of the things that you like to eat the most when you're sad? Well, I know a lot of times
Sugar,
it's
sweet.
sugar. Something sweet, because it's something sweet to make you feel good. And they train us like that with marketing. Give a kid some candy because they did a good job, or oh, you're so sweet, 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 sweet. And sugar is probably like one of the worst drugs ever on this planet. Especially, it does so much harm to our body. Food affects us in so many different ways that people don't even realize that. A lot of times when we are angry and we are upset, we want some good soul food. We need some comfort food. Ain't that the biggest thing? When you ain't feeling good, you had a breakup, you want something to make you feel good. So a lot of us are trained to eat foods to make us feel good emotionally, but not feel good mentally and spiritually, and physically. Okay, so spiritually, eating well nurtures your inner core. Consuming wholesome foods allows us to achieve more significant spiritual awareness, while unhealthy eating may cloud your spiritual connection. Moreover, respecting food's origins and energy invested in growing it may create a stronger spiritual bond with nature and in our environment. Food, I always say that the creator is so just, it's genius how everything was created, especially when you think of food and how it connects to us. My mom is into gardening a lot, and so when we started learning about gardening, especially in this climate and in our different environments, especially here where it's cold, there's not a lot of sun in the winter months. And so if you notice, a lot of the winter crops that are green, the greens, the cabbage, the turnips, all those things that grow in the winter that we're supposed to eat, it really just, it amazes me how it's set up, because when these green foods grow, they're filled with chlorophyll, filled with sun. And what's the one thing that we don't get a lot of in the wintertime? We don't get a lot of sun at all, because that's why it's so cold, right? So the creator set us up with these green vegetables that we should be eating in the wintertime to give us that chlorophyll that's needed to help us to feel less depressed, less anxious, because that's the biggest thing that we deal with in the winter times. We are more depressed because we don't get a lot of sun. And what's the best way to supplement that? By getting sun foods. So them greens that are growing out in the cold, that they're cropping, is soaking up all that sun, all that chlorophyll. We can eat that and get that natural sunlight to help us feel better. So it's just so important to know how much the food that you eat can alter your mood. It alters your mind. It alters your spirit, and it could just make you feel more in alignment. Because I can tell you, like I mentioned before, if I spend too much time eating things that are not good for me, it's going to spill off in everything in my life. It's like my mind's not going to be right. I'm not going to be in tune. I can feel cloudy. I can feel scattered, especially if you're a person who knows yourself, you know how to meditate, and you know when you feel in alignment. A lot of times, if you pay attention to the diet and the foods that you're eating, you'll be able to say, okay, let me switch it up a bit so I can feel more in alignment with myself. And I just think that's really important. So foods for holistic health. Holistic health includes eating a wide variety of whole foods that provide essential nutrients. That can include fruits and vegetables. A rainbow of fruits and vegetables ensures you're getting a wide variety of nutrients. It's so important. Whole grains like brown rice, quinoa provide long-lasting energy and fiber. Fiber is so important, guys, because it helps our digestive system. Doctors and a lot of health professionals are always saying now that your gut is like the foundation of your health. If you have poor gut health, 9 times out of 10, your immune system is going to be weak, and everything else is going to be off. So making sure that you are getting good fibers in you to keep your digestive tract moving great is so important. Lean meats and proteins for those who do eat meats. Lean meats, poultry, fish, beans, eggs, nuts provide necessary proteins for our body's function and maintenance. And then there are also people who are vegan, There are vegan proteins that you can use that provide the same thing. If you do choose to eat meats and poultry and fish, try to get, natural, grain-fed, grass-fed, Amish meats that aren't pumped with antibiotics and a bunch of different things that the factories use to make the animals grow big faster. Try to find those meats that don't have the antibiotics, that are, or the animals that were grass fed, because it's going to be healthier for you. Number 4, healthy fats. Avocados, olive oil, nuts, and fish provide healthy fats that help the absorption of essential vitamins that are key for cell function. And number 5 is probiotic, which one is great for the gut health. Probiotic rich foods like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, and other fermented foods promote great gut health. Kombucha, all those things are great for the health. So these are just a list of some foods that, when you're trying to eat healthy, that you should stick to. If you make this like the focus, and shop around that, you should really be well. Don't shop based upon what's on the front of the package. Like, really don't do that, because as you can see from the first demonstration we did before, it could say all the great stuff in the world, and then if you turn the package around and look at the ingredients, it has a bunch of other stuff that was not even labeled on the front of the package. So tips and advice for starting and maintaining a holistic diet. First thing is start slowly. Changing dietary habits overnight can often lead to failure, because it changes a lot, especially if you're a person who wants to transition from eating processed sugars to no sugars. Like, don't put yourself in that position where you say, okay, today I'm quitting, and you're just going to jump into it. 9 out of 10 you may fail, because sugar is probably a very addictive drug. And by the time you get to day 3 of your changed diet, and when stress starts happening and life starts happening, sometimes you're gonna crash and be like, okay, I need to go get my snacks and go get this. So it's very important to start slowly. Take some time to research the different type of diets that you want to try. Get information, get as much information that you need before you decide to make the changes. Start making small, manageable changes, like adding a salad to your diet or replacing processed snacks with fruits. And this is really good, especially if you have kids. I remember last summer, my workload changed a lot, so I had my workload changed a lot, and so I had to purchase a lot of foods that my kids can cook easier at home when I was not there. A lot of, I got the veggie sticks and, the foods that I just mentioned in the first demonstration. And when my son went to the doctor for a checkup, his doctor was like, he is borderline about to be a diabetic. And that's because I was gone a lot, I brought more processed snacks and processed foods in the house. And so that's what they ate more. So I had to flip it. No more chips, no more cookies. We're just going to get fruits and vegetables. We're going to meal prep and make our meals, do more salads. And adding that to his diet, the whole diabetes scare went away. So make small changes. So even if it's, instead of getting this bag of chips, I'm going to eat some fruit. But find out those small changes that you can do and gradually add them. Even if it's you want to stop eating more meat, find 2 or 3 days out the week when you just go meatless, or 1 day out the week where you go meatless. But change slow so the habits can stick. Because sometimes when you change too fast, it's very hard for the habits to stick real well. Number 2, prioritize whole foods. Processed foods often lack essential nutrients and are packed with sugars and unhealthy fats. So 1, prioritize whole foods. So what are whole foods? Whole foods are the foods that I just mentioned before. Whole foods are foods that have not been taken and made into something else. Okay, so sticking with whole foods instead of going to the grocery store and going down in the freezer aisle and getting a bunch of processed frozen vegetables. Sometimes I know you may need them. A little bit is good, but try to, shop on the perimeter at the grocery store. Get all your vegetables, get your the dairy meats and all those type of things that you need. Because those are mainly where the whole foods are. Number 3 is stay hydrated. This is so important. And this is especially with my schedule being as busy, my water intake sucked all last year. And you could see it reflecting itself in just how I was looking and how I was moving, even how I was breathing. And it was just because I wasn't drinking enough water. You don't even understand how important water is. If a lot of us just got the proper amount of hydration in our bodies, a lot of bodily functions and ailments that we deal with will completely go away. Hydration is so important. Drink plenty of water. It supports all of your bodily functions, including your digestion, and it helps you absorb nutrients better. So get your water in. No vitamin water, no water sweeteners, nothing. Just plain water. Stay hydrated. A lot of times when you think something is wrong with you, 9 times out of 10 is because you're not drinking enough water. So these are some great tips to just help you get started with maintaining a holistic diet. Number 4 is to listen to your body. Everyone's nutritional needs are different. Learn to listen to your body and know what your body is telling you what it needs. One good thing that I've learned is everybody's blood type requires different types of nutrients. So listen to your body and know your body. Know your blood type. Know how foods affect your body, because your body is going to tell you better than anybody, any doctor or anything, what it needs. So listen to your body. Number 5 is practice mindful eating. Pay attention to what you're eating. Chew slowly and enjoy your food. Don't be on your cell phone. Don't watch TV while you're eating. Enjoy the food, because when you notice, when you are mindful eating, you're eating more slowly. When you're present with your food, when you're chewing and enjoying the food, you're going to be full faster. A lot of times we tend to overeat because we're watching our cell phones or watching TV. We're doing something and we're just eating. And then we end up overeating with the itis, ready to go to sleep. So making sure that you are mindful eating, pay attention to what you're eating, taking the time and just really have that relationship with your food is so important. Be mindful of your thoughts. A lot of people, they eat foods and then be shaming themselves for eating the foods that they're eating. So just really be mindful and enjoy that food time, because the thoughts that you think are food, the things that you watch is food, the people that you're around, those energy is all food. So it will, sorry guys, this will make eating more enjoyable and experiences, and make it easier for you to detect fullness cues. Number 6 is balance. Remember that it's what you do most of the time, not some of the time, that matters. A piece of cake at a party doesn't mean you are derailed your diet. So balance is key. And I think this is important because, one, balance is key, and then you can't be so hard on yourself. Just like I mentioned before, be mindful of what you're telling yourself or what you're feeding yourself. Balance is always key. We are human. We are spiritual beings here having a human experience, and our taste buds is a part of the human experience. So it's okay to enjoy things. It's okay to, have that slice of cake here or there, or, to go out to that restaurant and get, your favorite thing that you love to eat, but is not healthy. Balance is always key. You want to be able to enjoy the foods that you're eating, not just because they make you feel good because you don't feel good, but really enjoy the experience, because that's why we're human. That's why we're able to eat and to have these amazing taste buds and enjoy those things. But by maintaining these practices, you will be on your way to holistic health. Holistic eating can lead to numerous physical benefits, increased mental clarity, and an improved sense of well-being and connection to the world around us. And it's really important. You feel a lot better. So real quick, we're going to jump into fasting, because sometimes when you're healthy eating, fasting comes into play. A lot of people, when you hear the term fasting, a lot of people think religious things, because that's really a lot where a lot of us learned about fasting. But fasting is really great for our health, and it's a practice that I think everybody should do year round, especially when you're adding detoxing with fasting. And so we're going to go a little bit into fasting, and then we'll end with a Q&A. So an overview of fasting. Fasting is a time-tested practice, often linked to religion, but also in various ways for health and wellness. It's essential. It essentially involves abstaining from food or drink or both, or I hate words that I cannot say when I need to say them. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. For a certain period of time, there are different types of fast. Some fasts are water fast, and that's when you only consume water. Then you have juice fasting, where you only consume fruit or vegetable juices. 9 times out of 10, these juices are like juices that you do at home or someone does for you, not the juices that you get from the store. And if you do get some of the juices from the store, I really, really want you to look at the back of the label. For example, the Boathouse Farm juices, because they say they're all juices and smoothies, and some people will go grab those thinking that they're healthy. Those are packed with so much sugar. Like, it's ridiculous how much sugar is in those things. So look at the back of the ingredients when you're looking for juices for a juice fast. But it's always best to just juice at home, get your fruits and vegetables and juice them. Even if you got to get the fruits and freeze them, put them in a freezer bag, do it that way. Another form of fasting is intermittent fasting. This is very popular now. And this is eating is restricted to a specific time window. So a lot of people are jumping into intermittent fasting. There are a lot of apps that help you with the intermittent fasting. And I kind of like intermittent fasting and practice that quite often. And it helps a lot. And then there is dry fasting. Now, this is for the gurus who know how to fast. And this is when you do no food or no drink or nothing is consumed. Okay. So these are just the different types of fasting and how the fastings are done. So how to fast properly. So first thing is medical consultation. I am not a doctor. I'm just a regular person like you. And I just practice these things to help me be better, to help me handle my day-to-day, to help me deal with my 6 rambunctious boys and 1 daughter. These things help me keep it together. So this is not medical advice. Seek your doctor, seek medical consultation before starting a fast. Consult, particularly if you have a health condition like diabetes or heart disease. If you are pregnant, breastfeeding, or recovering from surgery, please seek medical advice before you start to do a fast. Second thing is hydration. During your fast, stay hydrated. Depending on the type of fast you're doing, this might include water, herbal teas, or juices. So hydration is really important. Number 3 is ease into a fast. Start with the shorter fasting periods and gradually increase them over time. So I will always say, start with intermittent fasting for a week and see how that goes, where you don't eat anything during the till about 5 o'clock, and then you eat before 7. But ease your way into it. Don't jump in, especially if you're not prepared. So easing your way into a fast is really important. Number 4 is a balanced diet. Make sure the meals you have around your fast periods are balanced and healthy. Okay, so don't fast and then you break your fast and then you go to McDonald's. That, like, What's the point? Or don't fast and then you get a whole, you get a bucket of fried chicken. Make sure when you're doing these fasting periods that you're eating a balanced and healthy diet, because it's going to defeat the purpose if you do otherwise. Number 5, listen to your body. Again, your body is a genius. Your body knows exactly what it needs. If we listen to our bodies, the majority of the time, we probably wouldn't be in some of the hiccups we get in ourselves too, because this instrument that our spirits are in right now, this body is amazing and it's so intelligent. It's sophisticated technology of the universe. So listen to your body. Your body's going to tell you what it needs. Your body it's amazing. So listen to your bodies. Everyone's experience with fasting is unique. If you're feeling extremely unwell during your fast, consider stopping and consult a health professional. So listen to your body. Your body's going to tell you what's wrong. A lot of times when I jump into a fast, I know when it's time for me to fast because my body's telling me you need to fast. The body's telling you that it needs to fast. And I could tell because my body, it's just like a weird thing. Like the body will say it's time to cut off, let's fast. Because fasting helps the body resets itself. So listening to your body is really important. Benefits of fasting. So fasting offers a host of benefits which can be felt on a physical, mental, and spiritual level. So the first thing is improved health. When you fast, it may help with weight loss, improve your digestion, it lowers your blood sugar levels, and reduce inflammation, and helps with heart health. The cool thing about fasting is when you stop eating, because it takes so much energy for our bodies to digest foods. So when we take those periods and times to stop eating, we are allowing our bodies to repair itself. So some people, when they do a fast and they do a good fast and they just feel renewed, is because their body's repaired itself. The body reset itself and repaired itself. So fasting can definitely help with improving your health. Increased autophagy. Autophagy is the body's way of cleaning out damaged cells to regenerate newer, healthier cells, and fasting can help increase this process. Again, because without you eating and using up this energy, the body can repair areas that it needs to focus on and repair. Another benefit of fasting is mental clarity. Some people experience increased focus and mental clarity during and after a fast. A lot of religious people, when they feel like they need to go talk to spirit or go talk to God, they fast. And that's because it could clear. Again, the foods that we eat can sometimes taint our mental. It can taint our spirit. And so sometimes we're not in connection with the Creator, and we don't have the clarity that we need to hear the messages that we need to hear to operate properly. So fasting can definitely help give you that mental clarity that we all need. Number 4 is spiritual enlightenment. Many use fasting as a way to feel closer to their spirituality or to enhance their meditation practices. Again, this goes into being clear. When you take away the extra energy that's being used with eating foods and just allow your body to repair itself, and you don't have the influences of the sugars and the salts and the oils and all this kind of stuff, it will just make your connection to the divine so much clearer, and you just have the best thoughts and the best ideas come, and all types of things just come to mind, and you just like, wow. So a lot of that can happen when you fast properly. So tips and advice for starting a fast. The first one is choose the right fast. Look into the different types of fast and choose which one is going to fits best for your health, your schedule, and your lifestyle. There's no way I could probably do a dry fast, but intermittent fasting works so much better with my schedule. 2, start slowly. Again, this is not a race. You ain't in competition with nobody but yourself. So jump onto anything slow. Don't dive in. Some people are good at just diving in and going cold turkey with things, but some of us, it's a process. So it's advisable to start with shorter fasts, perhaps skipping a meal or a fast for a day, and gradually increase the fasting duration as your body gets accustomed to the practice. Number 3, stay hydrated. Hydration is so important. Even though you're skipping meals, it's essential to maintain hydration. So even before, if you're going to do a dry fast, and before you do that dry fast, make sure you like watered up leading up to that. But making sure that you're hydrated is so important. Number 4 is maintain a healthy diet. When you are not fasting, make sure you consume nutritious and balanced meals. It's so important. Do not break a fast and go to KFC or Popeyes or, go cook a soul food meal. Make sure when you break your fast or you're not fasting, you're maintaining a healthy diet. It's going to help with just the transition with fasting. Number 5 is mind your activities. All right. Fasting, not sometimes from food is good, but sometimes fasting from everything else. So be aware of your physical activities during your fast. If you feel weak or tired, don't push yourself. Listen to your body and rest when needed. So a lot of times, if you're going to go on a fast, I would not suggest you go rock mountain climbing or, going to do a 5K run. Some people's bodies can handle it, but listen to your body. A lot of times when you're fasting is really your body's time to repair, to clean, and sometimes it's a good time to rest. So it is really important. So fasting can be beneficial practice when done properly, providing physical, mental, and spiritual benefits. As with any significant lifestyle change, consult the healthcare provider before beginning any fasting routine. And that is it. I'm going to stop sharing. Do we have any questions?
That was great. Thank you, Erica.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right. If there's no questions, turn it back over to Trazana.
Well, everyone, that concludes our first workshop, Healthy Eating and Fasting. And if there's any questions, please let me know now. Type them in the chat or send me an email. And I hope to see you all in February. What is it? Let me put the slide back up.
I believe it's February 10th.
Yes.
And the Eventbrite is already open for anyone to register for that as well. It's already open already.
Yes. February 10th and unless there is a day like it is today, it will be at the Madisonville Recreation Center. And if I hadn't said so, that this series is presented by United Way Black Empowerment Works and in partnership with Cincinnati Recreation Commission. So thank you everybody for your time. Have a great day. Stay hydrated, stay mindful, and stay happy. Peace, love, and light.
Thank you all. Peace, love, and light.
Thank you, Dr. Lisa. Thank you, Azizah.
Very
Peace,
welcome.
love, and light.